that, we don't have to because there's no secrets anymore. There's no secrets in the mobile age. Making up who you're targeting it to, looking at where you can actually get activity is all there. But so often, I run into companies who basically create a goal, create an idea, just alone, then they go out to people and throw it at them. And as Peter Drucker said, the aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or service sells itself. And we have an ability to know people, both from what they do on our website, but also what they do on social media. And I hope in this, this is only my second presentation of this concept. I've been working on it directly with clients, and it's very different because what we do is start with the basics of how the world is now, because I will argue that most people are running on a desktop model. And this is from ComScore. They just released this last week. Mobile is 57% of all internet usage, okay? Desktop, 32%. Everyone I see comes to me with a desktop model. Hey, I'm not connected to the audience. Maybe I have a couple of keywords, nothing wrong with that. But keywords are only part of the game. In a social world, they're not out there looking for pain. Instead of looking for pain, they're looking for pleasure. Instead of looking for fear, they're looking for hope. So if you're marketing something, we're all like, scratch the pain, put it out there, and then you go out on social media, they're like, we're trying to be happy. Now, it doesn't mean you don't, but you do not present it up front. You don't throw it in their face, because this is not a world of throwing stuff against the wall. And I don't even use the word traffic among the people I work with, because traffic is a general thing. Cohorts are a specific thing. Because check this out. 50% of the activity is in apps. So you can sit in your website and everyone goes, hey, no one's coming to my website. What do you do on social? Well, I try to drive people to my website. Do you do anything else? No. And there is some ways to market and do this, but there's a lot more ways we can actually look at this and realize this is not only the greatest opportunity, but all the marketing that we did was based on media that doesn't change, was based on interrupting people, and also, what is a desktop world? That's somebody sitting in front of a computer. Have you ever seen happy people in front of a computer in anyone's pictures? Right? Why do you think they think of problems? They're alone. There is nothing more solitary. My sister teaches at a real university. They pay all this tuition thinking it's real, but if they're online and there's no connection, no live, they tune out because they're alone. But when they're on a device, this is about communication. This is about not just being happy, but they're getting literally a dopamine rush. You familiar with that? Yeah. They get that. You're trying to trigger dopamine. So if you try to interrupt dopamine with the truth and fear, put this way, test everything. But many times what you're doing is looking at the world from a desktop place and looking at your website as center of the universe. Even worse, looking at your business as the center of the universe. I ask you for about the next hour, give me permission to share some things that will go counter to some of what you do. Not as a sense of right or wrong, but right and left. Okay? Because what happens when this all goes mobile? It is all mobile. And here's everybody like, oh, theorizing what they do on mobile. They use apps. We know everybody has 2 or 3 apps. And you know what they are? Social. So if you want to really have a mobile strategy, you have to have a social strategy. And definitely watch the mobile world separately from the desktop. When you track, they're 2 different worlds. And sometimes you can optimize one or the other. And I'm going to introduce you to the concept of cohorts, because if you're not on social, you don't exist. Period. So if you just want to stay in your website, maybe take out a few ads, Armin's out there doing live streaming. Mike's out there doing live streaming. Why? Because if they weren't there, they wouldn't exist.